before Rolex climbed Everest, before Omega reached the moon. A small Swiss collective was already building watches tough enough to survive the mountains themselves. This is the forgotten brand that shaped every sports watch you know today. The brand is known for its alpinist philosophy, perseverance, independent thinking, and trusting instinct. And its signature red triangle logo inspired by the Matterhorn. Alpina began as a movement, a union of watchmakers determined to build better tools and access high-quality parts and build better watches together. Founded in 1883 by Gottlieb Hauser, Alpina's spirit was forged in independence and precision. This is Alpina, shaped by mountains, makers, and ambition. The cooperative moved to Biel, a true watchmaking hub and the beating heart of the Swiss watchmaking. By 1900, Alpina was already winning awards for quality. At the Paris Exposition, Alpina wins a bronze medal for quality. Proof of their cooperative model works. The Union Horologier expanded and started supplying watches across Switzerland, Germany, Austria, France, and Denmark. By 1915, Alpina was producing its first wristwatches. For years earlier, the Geneva branch became Alpina Watch Co., marking a new era. Around the same time, Alpina became the military supplier. The German Navy purchased Alpina chronometers, cementing its early reputation for precision in harsh conditions. Alpina even opened a factory in Germany, Ingolstadt, strengthening its reputation in one of the world's most respected watchmaking towns. A partnership with Grün gave Alpina access to top-tier Swiss movements and allowed to expand into the American market. The year 1933 brings the Block Or, a shock-resistant, water-resistant rectangular watch that foreshadows Alpina's future innovations. But by 1938, Alpina stood fully independent, a true manufacturer. This independence set the stage for a revolution in sports watchmaking. That year, Alpina introduced the Alpina 4, the blueprint for modern sports watches. This wasn't marketing fluff. It was a technical breakthrough that influenced the entire industry. It combined four essential traits: anti-magnetic, anti-shock, water-resistant, stainless steel. This formula became the industry standard. Alpina wasn't following trends, it was defining them. In the 1940s, Alpina subjected its watches to extreme tests, heating them to reveal condensation, then using both pressure and vacuum equipment to verify true water resistance. After World War II, the Allies banned the Alpina name in Germany. The German branch becomes Dugina, but Alpina continues independently. This is a rare case where a watch brand was literally split in two by geopolitical events. In 1947, Alpina launched its first automatic movement, the rectangular caliber 490 and the automatic caliber 582. The 1950s brought huge growth with hundreds of models each year. In the 1960s, Alpina enters the diving world with the Sea Strong line, rugged, reliable, and built for real underwater use. But the quartz crisis hit hard, devastating Swiss watchmaking, and Alpina faded in the early 1980s. By the mid-1980s, Alpina was a shadow of its former self. Production slowed, distribution collapsed, and the cooperative that once united European watchmakers dissolved. But Alpina wasn't gone. In the late 1990s, a group of watch industry veterans saw potential in the sleeping brand. Not as a relic, but as a foundation for something new. In 2002, Frederick Constant revived the brand. It restored its identity as a maker of robust sports watches. The mission was clear: return to the brand's roots. Robust sports watches built with purpose. Today, Alpina is part of the Citizen Group, operating from its state-of-the-art manufacture in Geneva. Time for a fun fact about Alpina. In 1921, the International Commission of Air Navigation, ICAN, the world's first aviation regulatory body, issued official guidelines for pilot equipment. One of the requirements was pilots must wear a highly legible ANTI magnetic wristwatch with luminous hands and an oversized crown. This wasn't a suggestion, it was a global aviation standard. And Alpina was one of the few Swiss manufacturers already producing watches that met these exact specifications. This is why Alpina became a supplier to early European air forces in the 1920s and 1930s. So Alpina wasn't just making pilot watches, it was making watches that matched the world's first official aviation requirements. If you're enjoying this deep dive, consider subscribing to Horology Guide. It helps keep these stories alive. Let's go back to our story. The Alpina line carries the spirit of the original Alpina 4. the Sea Strong collection brings serious diving heritage. The Startimer pays tribute to Alpina's aviation roots. Contest blends sportiness with refined design. In 2015, Alpina helps launch the first Swiss horological smartwatch. Classic looks, smart tech. And the horological smartwatch merges Swiss tradition with smart tech. 5 years later, the Alpina Alive added health monitoring, including a pulsometer, GPS, heart rate tracking, and outdoor sensors built into a Swiss sports watch. After another 2 years, the watch brand releases the Sea Strong Kalanda. It's their first watch made from 100% recycled maritime steel. The pure steel, recycled steel manufactured by ThyssenKrupp is of the highest quality and originates from the maritime sector. And today, Alpina stands by its modern motto, "We shape the change." This is a commitment to sustainability and innovation. Alpina's modern identity is reflected in its ambassadors, athletes who live the brand's values in the real world. Olympic silver medalist and X Games champion Colby Stevenson represents Alpina in the mountains, pushing limits in some of the harshest environments on Earth. Freeride World Tour champion Marcus Eder brings the same spirit, carving lines through the backcountry with precision and control. In aviation, Alpina has been represented by aerobatic pilot Michael Goulian, a world-class performer who wore the Startimer pilot during his airshow displays. Alpina's ambassadors aren't just marketing faces. They work in the same altitude, cold, pressure, speed, and risk these watches are built for. From a cooperative to a pioneer, Alpina's journey is one of resilience and innovation. Alpina blends its historic DNA with modern engineering. From pilot watches to divers to the revived Alpina 4 concept. And here's something most collectors don't realize. Alpina was one of the first brands to define what a sports watch even was. Long before the category existed, Alpina set the standards others would follow. If you enjoyed this story about Alpina, follow Horology Guide for more watch history and bold horological adventures.